Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another matchup from the Raidcall D2L Season 3, and we're going to unpause in 3, 2, 1, unpause. This is a
Wow,
matchup
we are
team
getting right to it.
Liquid and Virtus.Pro. Yeah, dude, gotta go and get your friend to 200 and 0. No time for
That's true.
mincing words.
It's true.
But
What's more
anyways,
important than pub win rates in Dota?
we're going to look at, I think, one of my top 3 favorite teams, along with Fnatic and Zenith, in the form of Virtus.Pro today, because I fucking love this team. They are amazing. They have my favorite support player of all time in NS. They are not afraid to use unusual strategies, but they also play very standard when it comes down to it. The only thing is that they're a bit schizophrenic, but recently they've been playing super well, and I mean, now's a good time as any because you want to get momentum before heading into TI3, and keep in mind, Dreamhack Summer is coming up, and that is the biggest prize pool for Dreamhack history, so this is a good time to look
I was gonna
sharp.
correct you with the international right there, but yeah, Dreamhack Summer is definitely a big deal.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Virtus.Pro, I think they're like my dark horse to take top 3 in International 3.
I would be very surprised.
Well, you're just terrible, and I hate you.
I mean, what do I got? I got Alliance. I think can't ever count out Navi on LAN. I think LGD China should do really well, and Orange should do really well. Like, those are my top 4.
That's why it's a dark horse pick, dude. Virtus.Pro got this.
Yes, that is what that is. So, anyway, I just wanted to say, a lot of teams first ban Gyro against Liquid, which makes a lot of sense. I don't know what the first ban Darkseer is. I don't know. Maybe they just really don't like playing against it. And Furion too, I guess. Well, does Virtus.Pro run Furion a lot?
Yeah, I think they were one of the teams that did like to split push a lot when they didn't go for all action heavy games.
Because Liquid just gave away Wisp CK.
Yeah, that could be a bit of an issue. And Virtus.Pro banning out Tree, and you all knew this was coming. Ever since Living Armor was reworked, eventually we get buffed to a point that it was complete bullshit, and it is at that point.
He is completely broken. People have been waiting for him to start getting first banned in competitive matches, and now he is because he's really absurdly good. So, Liquid gets the first pick. I would guess they go for Batrider here, because you can't go for the Nakes against the Wisp CK because it doesn't work. You can just beat out the Rage in lane, and then it doesn't matter. So, yeah, they go Bat. Virtus.Pro takes Wisp CK. Liquid takes NS, or not NS, Nakes and something else.
And I don't think you're ahead of me. I think you're just predicting this.
I mean, it's obvious.
Yeah.
Like, it's the only strategy that they had. Like, they couldn't have done anything else.
Yeah, so Liquid probably going to look to pick up one of the supports before Virtus.Pro. Actually, it's 2 picks, 2 bans, so Virtus.Pro will get to ban some supports, and Virtus.Pro already have components for their Chine. Of course, there is the slight possibility they might run this as a delay in mid, but Visage going to be banned out by Virtus.Pro, definitely a strong call, because Batrider in conjunction with Lifestealer and Visage's enormous chasing abilities, and overall extremely lane dominant hero just makes him really, really powerful in all aspects of the game. Liquid probably looking to ban out perhaps mid solos if they don't run the Batrider mid solo. I haven't really seen Korok play Batrider too often, but
He's not.
I've got to think he will.
I mean, he's decent at it. I think they prefer to run it as a solo safe lane, or solo offlane.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just very
It's not
rare.
really a Korok hero, you know?
Yeah, but Korok likes those really, really mobile heroes who can spam a lot of stuff, and Batrider can do that, but he will get focused a bit. And Korok doesn't really strike me as the person who jumps in and then does nothing the rest of the fight. Of course, Batrider can do stuff, but not as much in comparison to like Puck, Guap, TA.
Yeah, back in Snowball, but he's more of a utility, you know?
Yeah, so...
Anyway, bans. The Clockwork ban makes a lot of sense. You don't want to give away something that's strong in conjunction with Wisp CK, because Clockwork can either mid against Bat and actually do a little bit okay, or just solo safe lane, and it would be really, really strong. When I say solo safe lane, you can't really run aggressive Wisp tri-lanes unless you have a CK with it. And when you have a CK with it, all of a sudden I always like actually an offensive hero because of the tether stun on you know, CK's Rift. So I would guess Virtus.Pro goes for Alina, Coddle, which they ban out themselves. They ban out Visage themselves. So Lena's like the obvious pick to go with them. I guess Leshrac works pretty well too. Depends on what they want to go for. So they're going to be looking to pick up a support with their next pickup. And Liquid, I'm pretty sure, is looking to get an offlaner because the support can always come later at this point because they have none. So
well, they already banned out 3 of Bulba's trademark heroes, so I think Batrider will probably go in the offlane at this rate, and they're going to try to get some other mid-hero for Korok, but they already removed Puck themselves, and Virtus.Pro actually going to pick up the Queen of Pain with their 3rd choice. But yeah, smart ban by Virtus.Pro, banning out really strong defensive challenge supports, making sure that Lifestealer's will have a really, really difficult time because now with the open wounds nerf, he can't really chase effectively in the laning phase unless, I mean, he gets off to a really, really, really strong start. But Liquid, we're going to have to see how they respond. They definitely, will they go for something like a Shout even here? That could be a good option, or maybe Bane.
I think, I don't know, it's really hard to pick supports against the Wisp CK. I think Shadow Demon's just going to get blown up. Bane might do a little bit better, but he'll still get gone on just because the Wisp CK like runs at you, and Bane likes to stand in the back, and you can't really do that against people who are so fast. So I think, I don't know, it's so hard to draft against Wisp CK. I don't know what they're going to pick up, to be honest, because I can't see anything that's like just a good pick. Maybe like, you can't even pick Earthshaker to shut stuff down because you already have a Lifestealer, so I don't know.
Yeah, Liquid definitely going to be harassed quite a bit if Virtus.Pro actually decide to go on the offensive, which right now all the signs point towards it. But if Virtus.Pro do go on the defensive, then, I mean, maybe they'll get a little bit more safety. But Liquid taking quite a bit of the reserve time. Keep in mind, teams have more reserve time in general, but it does get drained on since teams actually have less picking time. They're going to pick up the Rurik for IX Mike. Not really that many great spells still. I guess Chaos Bolt, of course, is a ridiculously good spell.
Chaos Bolt and Blink is really good.
Yeah, I forgot
like, if you can get
Blink.
Blink on Rubik, that's huge.
Yeah, Blink, of course, is going to be very useful. But I'm not too sure how effective Rubik... I mean, of course, he can lift Chaos Knight or Wisp up in the air and really prevent them from going ham on the Lifestealer, so that could be why. But Virtus.Pro actually is going to snag the Lina, like you mentioned previously. Lina does do a lot of extra damage, and Chaos Knight and Wisp, they do a lot of damage to themselves, but they might want to have an extra bit of backup stun, extra bit of burst damage, extra bit of range just to harass Liquid out of the lane. And right now, Liquid, I don't think their Chine matches up very well against Virtus.Pro. And Queen of Pain looks like she might return to some of her former glory with the newest patch, just because she can just, you know, control the runes so effectively. But we're going to see how Liquid match up against her in the middle lane if Barrett is indeed going to the off lane. Maybe something like a TA and just try to meld dodge every Shadow Strike? I don't know.
TA's not going to work against the Wisp CK. It would be okay. Like, if you get a good start and the Wisp CK is a little bit underleveled because they have the safe lane, that's fine. Okay, I'll talk about that because that's important. But, yeah, I don't think that a TA would work just because if you're going to have... Like, it's either really in your advantage or really against you, and it's not going to be in their advantage. So, the deal with the Naga Sirens, a lot of people... And I'm pretty sure that's a support Naga, by the way, so I'm really happy about that. But I'm pretty sure that they're doing this so that when Wisp... and CK TPN, you just sleep and run away. And it's that simple, right? You also have a net for Queen of Pain, which is actually really, really annoying. But she's not a very strong tri-lane hero, and neither is Rubik. And Lifestealer is if you have a setup, and they don't really have the damage to go on. Like, they can set something up, but they can't have the damage to kill something in the duration of Rage Wounds. So I'm pretty sure Virtus.Pro is just going to slam the tri-lane. Mid is a Bat-Quap matchup, which can really go either way. I actually prefer to play it from the Bat-Rider perspective, but some players will do it either way. And the
yeah, but how about now with the Vision nerf on Bat-Rider and the Flamebreak nerf as well?
Yeah, but that doesn't... I'm saying that doesn't really affect mid lane.
Oh, that's true. Well, the Vision nerf kind of affects mid lane a bit. Can't really go
a little bit.
But, I mean,
yeah.
Sticky Napalm does give you vision, so that's one cool thing you do with Barrett. You can just use Sticky Napalm up the cliff. That's what most Barrett players did anyways, if they were playing a little bit more aggressive. They just use Sticky Napalm to give them a momentary glimpse of vision, and voila, you can see up the cliffs. But Team Liquid gonna about the Lone Druid, recognizing that Virtus.Pro don't really have a solo safe winner at the moment, or maybe just thinking with some wild scheme that Virtus.Pro could potentially go with an offlane hero.
Yeah, and also, it's really good at breaking base, which CK Wisp snowballs really, really hard, and so does Queen of Pain. Like, that's just like a snowball team. But if you don't just completely roll over the enemy, and then you hit 35 minutes, you're like, okay, well, we have CK, what are we going to do here? So Lone Druid would be a really, really good way to complement that. And they're actually going to go for a Lich. So this is...
Interesting.
Could this be a Lich mid, or Lina mid, Queen of Pain safe lane, and then a tri-lane? But I would guess, actually, that it's
Spirit Breaker, I love it.
Oh my god.
6.78, obviously people are experimenting because a major tournament is coming up relatively soon in the form of Dreamhack Winter. So people obviously want to see what is the strongest hero, but Liquid, they have 3 melee heroes. They don't really have the best range, and having range against Chaos Knight Wisp, I mean, it doesn't help you out in comparison to like other heroes, but it's still very important. Virtus.Pro, I feel like, have a lot more maneuverability, but Liquid. I guess their thought process is maybe we can gank them before they gank us, and that's why they're going to pick up the Spirit Breaker here. And it's going to be TC playing Naga Siren, so it looks like it won't be a support Naga Siren, and IX Mike will be playing his trademark Rubik, so that means Fluff will be playing a support Spirit Breaker. And this is something that I think, mentioned you think Spirit Breaker is strong in the offlane or as support. Well, he's going to be playing this role in one of these roles in this game at least.
I would prefer to see him in a game that I'm pretty sure Virtus.Pro isn't just going to stomp. But yeah, I think that a lot of times when a new hero comes out and people try him like once and then they lose with him, they're reluctant to. Oh, there was a hero swap.
Prepare for battle.
IX Mike is on the Spirit Breaker. Fluff's on Rubik.
I think this is actually a good choice for IX Mike, because no offense to IX Mike, but he's often caught in very bad situations and he often gets picked off. I feel like Spirit Breaker is one of those heroes, if he gets his spells off, he does his job as a support, and he's tanky enough that he can actually do that. But I mean, he is melee, he doesn't really contribute much to lane, and it looks like Virtus.Pro actually going with boots first Lich, so it looks like they're not really going for an aggressive try. They're gonna pull him a bit of extra gold from the Lina, and yeah, I guess this is...
I got so pissed off when someone did this to me yesterday. They had a boots first Lich that they pulled him regen, and I couldn't harass him out of lane on the support because he's so fast. Look at that, 365, and he just stays on his tower, and he's like, this is old school, right? Like, this is like 3 years old. You do the solo offlane Lich.
Yeah,
but it's really good. Like, he's really hard to kill. Like, if you don't mind kind of having a hero that's sort of useless in the lane, it's fine. But now that he has 10 bounces on Chain Frost, like, it's really hard to run away from him.
Well, I mean, sometimes the bounces don't matter, but sometimes they will matter, especially since Liquid picked up a really, really heavy melee lineup. And the thing about Lich, why he sort of faded out, even though Dark Ritual got barely nerfed, it did get nerfed, but people just realized you can just push with Chen, with Leshrac, with Enchantress, but in this game against Liquid, how are they going to push? They don't really have anything that can push very effectively. So Lich will get a lot of experience and deny Leicester a lot of experience. So I guess they think that they don't really need to go in the try-and matchup, they just can deny and win the experience war in the long run. And I can't really say I blame them for this decision.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, if you get a really fast 6 on Wisp, I mean, there's two schools of thought behind it. There's the fast 6 with pulling and safe lane, tri lane versus like nobody, which is what's going to happen. Or you can go for aggressive tri lane and try to just get him to 6 with a ton of kills. But against a Nakes and a Spirit Breaker, like, that's going to be really hard to do. And it's a Naga, Jesus Christ, Naga Siren mid. Why don't we introduce these lanes, because this is weird.
So playing on the side of Teamwork, we're going to have TC playing the Naga Siren mid solo, Korok is going to be playing the Lifestealer safe lane carry, Fluff is going to be playing the Rubik, Bulba is playing the Baron, IX Mike is playing the Spirit Breaker, NS is going to be handling the Wisp on the side of Virtus.Pro, Illidan will be taking care of that Chaos Knight, KSI will be playing the Lich in the offlane, Tame My Wild will be playing Queen of Pain, and that means NS will be playing that Lina. So Naga versus Queen of Pain, I've got to imagine that Naga does better than most melee heroes because she has ridiculous armor, has pretty high base movement speed, and the 10-second cooldown buff to her Riptide means that she can clear out creep waves quite effectively, but at a certain point she will run out of mana, and then Queen of Pain is just going to have a field day when that happens.
Well, here's my issue with it. Back in the days of TI2, I thought that she could be played as a mid-solo hero for fast 6, but look at her base damage. It got nerfed by, was it like 12 or 14 or something?
12,
yeah. She has 50 base damage against a Quap with 61, and who's about to get like 6 more once they finish their last hit thing. Null Talisman. Yeah. That's going to be a problem. Like,
don't you play mid a lot? How do you not know what Null Talisman is? God.
It's the I know how much everything costs and you know what it does and when you get it, but I can't ever remember the names of heroes or items. But anyhow, TC's just going to try to spam out nukes with Riptide and see what he gets. And that was actually one of the buffs, right? Lower cooldown. It's now 10 seconds
at all levels.
It used to be like 14, 13, 11.
Yeah, I think it was like 16, 14, 12, 10, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds right. So KSI is actually going to get experience in the bot lane. That's a win. But that Rider can jungle really, really fast, actually. So that's a win, too. So kind of both offlaners are getting a lot of stuff. I'm pretty sure Rubik and IX Mike are just going to chain pull. They're going to want a fast 6 on IX Mike. And I don't know. That Wisp is going to hit 6 so fast. Look, he's just pulling the... You can still do that?
I guess with Wisp? I don't know. I thought this was like... I guess you can only do it with certain range camps. I think that was the deal.
Yeah, there was one camp you can do it on, and I didn't know what it was because I just kind of gave up on it, but I guess that's the camp. I think it was the poison things you could do it.
Yeah, and that was actually the poison creeps that did get pulled. But now the trolls are in full effect, so Looks like the trolls won't be getting pulled, and that's why Wisp is actually looking to stack off the smaller camps. But meanwhile, back in the mid lane, TC is actually playing mid rather than Korok. I don't think this is like a role switch, since Liquid actually has been struggling a bit ever since coming back from G1. I think this is just more of a matchup situation. TC probably has more experience, and Leicester, let's be honest, he isn't really a complicated hero to play all too much. But meanwhile, Ix is hiding in the Ancients, looking for a gank on Lich, and Lich, one of the drawbacks is because you're going to constantly deny creeps, the tower will be very much pushed at your tower all the time, and that's why pushing strategies work so well. And I expect looking for a gank. Virtus.Pro don't have any vision on the offlane side of the map, interestingly enough, as they didn't get over there. But Spiritbreaker unable to find too much an opening, actually going to retreat. And Spiritbreaker I feel like can gank very early on, but do Liquid have the backup that they need to sort of make him work?
Well, the reason why I think this hero isn't quite as bad as most people think he is because if you literally start him at, well, when I say like level 1 full roam, like offlane, I mean like kind of what Mike's doing, but he'd be ganking more. But in this case, you can't charge mid, like it's Queen of Pain, who cares? You can't charge the Lich because he's so fast and he's just going to be under his tower and you'll die. And no one's in the offlane, so you can't charge that. So I think this is kind of a, it's a waste of his potential. Like I feel like this is when he's strongest in the game, like right now.
Yeah, and especially since the Charge of Darkness means you always get that greater bash at the first hit, which is actually a significant amount of damage because Charge of Darkness, of course, increases your move speed by quite a bit, and the greater bash depends on your move speed now. But meanwhile, Virtus.Pro looking to apply a little bit of pressure on the top tier 1 tower, and meanwhile, Liquid just gonna look to do some pulls. Batrider has his boots of speed, still jungling up as best he can, put 2 points in Napalm, 1 point in Firefly, and it's gonna be well on his way towards getting that level 6, but still, how much can you do with it? That remains to be seen, as Wisp level 2 only, so looks like his level 6 won't be as fast as we originally thought, but still, it's going to be fast regardless.
Well, let me see how much. Yeah, Wisp can really power through stack camps with spirits, because when they die or explode, they deal AoE damage for a pretty significant amount. So he's got 2 points in spirit, so he just gets them on him and then walks to the creep camp right when they're going to explode, and then they all die. So you can actually clear
2 stacks of mud golems differ.
Oh, wow, I didn't even see that. I just looked at the map. Yeah. Never mind, that sucks.
That does suck, as Ix does edge level 3. We'll see what skill points. He does get it into the haste, and he's immediately going to charge. Wild will be the target, and like you said, Naga Siren Net is going to be very annoying for Queen of Pain to escape. Here comes Net flying in for Wild, and Ix will pick up the first blood. That bash actually did a significant chunk of damage, but TC having double damage actually helped out matters quite a bit. So TC, with that mid lane control back on his side, will be able to just root control a lot more effectively. Ix did manage to get a gank off, so far Liquid utilizing the Spirit Breaker quite nicely, but looks like they're not going to be able to muster up any defense whatsoever towards this top tier 1 tower. And this is what troubles me. If, I guess, Virtus.Pro decide to push, Liquid really can't stop him whatsoever.
Yeah, uncontested with CK is an issue. Once they get this tower, CK is going to last hit it probably, and he'll have so much gold. And, like, Lifestealer isn't that good as an uncontested carry, you know what I mean? He does pretty well with just a little, but CK, if you give him that little bit early, like a little bit extra, he'll really just kind of just pub roll you. So, I think that this favors VP by a pretty significant amount right now, actually. And I don't know what TC is going to do, like, well, how's he going to contribute to stopping the CK, so...
You can net him and sleep, but CK can just illusion split out. As me on the bottom lane, it looks like KSI is going to be in a lot of trouble. The charge actually wasn't even necessary, so a bit of mispositioning by KSI. Probably didn't see Fluff coming in. And Lifestealer, despite all the denies, still managed to hit a reasonable level because of his sports constantly pulling about level 5 in comparison to a level 6 Chaos Knight. Still a bit problematic, but Liquid doing nice stuff in the early game, which is something that they are known to do, but the mid game is when it's going to really count, and Bulba really getting close to that level 6. Looks like he's going to straight up rush that dagger, but is struggling a bit in terms of mana and HP. And meanwhile, Queen of Pain just constantly pushing out the runes. And unfortunately for Liquid, their first wards are going to die off relatively soon. So this is the point of the game when Chaos Knight and Wisp start to take control. But fortunately for Liquid, Wisp is only level 3 because of those damn mud golems.
No, those are the worst. I really hate it when your entire jungle just gets screwed over because of mud golems. It can happen on a lot of heroes, like when you stack. But yeah, I want to say, look at Kork's skill build. He's maxing open wounds. I think this is the new thing. People experiment with it. You know, they take points as they need it. But most people get like at least a point or 2 in rage and then max open wounds and like 1 point in feast, I think now.
Yeah, I think it's kind of necessary because of open wounds nerf. I mean, even now, it won't get you up to the maximum range. It'll only get you up to 500 when I think the original range was 700 or 650, something pretty powerful.
600, I believe, and now it's 2, 3, 4, 500.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's still nerfed regardless, but I think this is definitely going to be the right way. I think the only thing that I'm worried about is that this sort of forces you to go into a drums build. And, I mean, Lifesteal does tend to go drums regardless, but in some cases Lifesteal don't get drums. This one sort of makes you have to go for that because you won't really have enough mana to spam all your other abilities regardless. But meanwhile, KSI, 2 Sal's Tango, as well as a Boots of Tranquility. He just does not want to get out-harassed. And looks like he's not even worried about picking up experience, and that's the cool thing about Lich with the buff. He doesn't really need experience as much anymore because of 10 bounces. Although, I think his ultimate cooldown is really what sort of kills him. 120 seconds at level 1 for an unreliable ultimate seems a little bit too much.
I mean, imagine if it was lower though, like it'd be absurd.
Yeah, it does do quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, I mean, like you could just start using it for solo kills instead of team fights and it'd be silly. But yeah, I want to say, look at how much TC's got. He's got 40 last hits. I'm actually really impressed. I guess Riptide doesn't really cost a lot, so you can just spam it, huh?
Yeah, 110 mana, and he's constantly trade switching. Of course, it is a lower mana cost in the early levels, but meanwhile, Wisp getting dangerously close to that level 6, and Chaos Knight continuing to farm up, working his way towards the armlet most likely, and that will be coming in relatively soon. But Korok looking to apply a bit of pressure on the bottom tower. They are going to rotate quite a number of heroes. We'll see if they're going to try to defend this bottom tier 1 tower. I think VP definitely has the capability to do just that. The question is, do they want to? Looks like Chaos Knight does not have a TP scroll, so Liquid gonna receive an uncontested tower. Nagasiren is there to provide a bit of insurance in the form of sleep, and Liquid will be able to play the first tier 1 on their part pretty solidly. We'll see what they can do after this, because Wisp, it's always a countdown, this hero.
Yeah, and he's gonna get it in about a minute tops, probably a little bit less. I mean, like, he's jungling the Felina, so they'll get it. And then they're going to probably start just TPing on bot lane, and it'll be terrible.
Yeah, Liquid, they're just going to apply as much pressure, try to get as much gold as possible, pressuring the tier 2 relentlessly, and Virtus.Pro just don't really mind, as Wisp actually just going to use some overcharge. I was wondering if he's a real king. The animations for Wisp always confusing for me because I never play that hero and he's a ball of light anyway, so all his spell animations look the same. But Liquid going to receive a tier 2 tower. Virtus.Pro not even bothering to teleport or glyph. I guess they're just like, we don't care.
YOLO, I guess. Bat picks up his dagger. That's important.
Yeah, so now Queen of Pain's got to be super careful because Barrett has the blink, there's a net, there's a charge, there's telekinesis, there's so many anti-Queen of Pain measures. But still, that might not matter when Wisp and Chaos Knight are going to teleport in your face, but Chaos Knight does finish his armlet, and if you look at the levels, Chaos Knight level 8, only Nagasiren is level 8 on the side of Liquid. You can see Leicester because of the constant denies him because he's in a trial lane. He's only level 6, which is going to hurt his impact by quite a bit. But Leicester will have the... What? What is he getting? He's getting a Mithril Hammer. I thought he'd go for drums, but I guess I'm mistaken.
There's a Mithril Hammer? I guess...
Deso.
Could be a Stygian. It might be a Maelstrom, but I'm guessing... Wow, that's weird. I don't know, I'm not going to speculate because that's kind of weird.
You know, Ix Mike has hit level 6, so now they have another bit of nice damaging lockdown potential, as, interesting enough, he's maxing Greater Bash to give him as much damage as possible on the charges, because it does scale with the move speed, rather than going for the movement speed aura, which gives you phase boots, and that's pretty much it. But move speed is quite important, and will be very important against Chaos Knight Wisp, but it looks like Liquid going to use this opportunity to smoke up, since they do have the dagger open the barrel, but only Chaos Knight is revealing himself. Looks like they are going to initiate on Chaos Knight, but he's so very tanky. Did it actually have enough damage to bring him down? No, Wisp actually teleports him out in the nick of time. Timberwild might be able to blink away. A little bit of miscommunication by Liquid, as the Wisp Chaos Knight, I think they're going to probably teleport back since last one won't be an option. Timberwild will be able to escape, and Chaos Knight Wisp going to arrive in full force. Here comes the Chaos Bolt, going to land squarely on TC's face. Fluffy's going to be the next one to fall. There's nothing he can do about it. Arm with Chaos Knight, and Wisp going to say, enough of your shenanigans. We're only going to do our own shenanigans. And looks like Bowder might be in a bit of trouble. Can he actually get picked off? Keep in mind the orbs don't give you vision anymore, but Bowder will be able to escape, but that's going to be Wisp's earn. Chaos Knight already has his armlet, going to probably work his way towards the BKB. And suddenly, despite the 2 early towers, Liquid in a very uncomfortable position.
Yeah, what we saw there was Wisp being one of the best, and I don't like this word, but best like counters to Batrider, because Batrider goes on someone, and then you hit your go back to base button, and you click on them with tether, and then you save the person. And then Batrider's ultimate is down, and then you come in and kill them. So I really don't like playing Batrider against Wisp for this reason. Like, if you have a choice, I think you should take Wisp instead of Bat. But yeah, that was, I don't know. I think Liquid were kind of hoping that Virtus.Pro wouldn't mess up there, or would mess up there, and they didn't, and they kind of paid for it. So the snowball starts here.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Chaos Knight already has his armlet, and it's going to be up to Spirit Breaker, I think, to create a lot of movement, but sort of like similar to Wisp, the best thing to do against Spirit Breaker is just to group up, since he's a melee hero and doesn't have the escapability of Wisp. As TC going to get initiated on once again, going to get stunned, and that ultimate still cooling down. He was stun locked regardless, but that ultimate 180-second level 1 cooldown definitely didn't help out TC whatsoever in that engagement, as Illidan does pick up another kill, going to fuel Wisp's earn charges, and we'll see what Liquid decides to do to try to get themselves back in the game, because right now they're looking very, very uncomfortable.
Well, you can split push with Nakes, but
if you go to
none of the other heroes can split push. Aside from Naga, if you're willing to use your sleep for it, but aside from that, everybody has to group up.
And I think if Lifesteal wanted to get the Maelstrom, he would have already gotten it, so I think this is going to be a Desolator.
That's kind of odd. I would expect that he would go for, you know, the drummer armlet first, but, you know, personal preference maybe. Maybe there's some reason he's doing this. I can't figure it out, though.
Maybe he knows there isn't really that much damage on the side of Liquid, so he wants to make sure Chaos Knight dies, but, I mean, Chaos Knight doesn't really care regardless, as Bulba gonna blink out. Nice reactions by Bulba, but still, Liquid not looking in too good of a shape. The good thing for Liquid is that they're warding, and the Dire aren't, but I guess the Dire just say, we don't need wards, we're just gonna overpower you. And that means their supports are going to be significantly more farmed. The only one
I was
who's
actually
struggling.
Going to say, that's an advantage for VP, not Liquid. Like, if you're not spending money on wards and you don't need them, I don't think VP needs wards right now. They're in complete control of the map, so...
Yeah, the only one who's struggling is, I guess, Tame My Wild, but even then, he's only died once, 63 CSs. Meanwhile, the bottom lane, there will be engagement for KSI. They are going to try to pick off the Lich, as Lich will once again take a fall. Here comes the Chain Frost bouncing in. Korok trying to teleport out of there. Only the first hit of Chain Frost does give the mini stun, but they are going to finish off Ix. Like, he still managed to get the Lich kill, but they did have to sacrifice him. Not too sure if that was worth it. Probably worth it, since TC did, or Lifesteal did get out okay, and they forced to relocate. So all things considered, I guess that was in Liquid's favor, especially since they forced the long cooldown of the Chain Frost.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if you can just prevent the Wisp CK ganks from happening, like, that person was going to die anyway, so it's no big deal. NS has got Bottle and Urn of Shadows and Mana Boots. That's a lot.
Oh,
like, that's a lot.
Oh, I forgot. NS is playing the Wisp. Who's playing the Lina? Who's the other support player for... Oh, ars-art! I forgot! Ars-art's on Virtus.Pro, as we on the mid lane and sleep will be used. But trying to hold Virtus.Pro in place. Barra just saying, peace out, homies. As the move speed, Bonanza gonna begin. Chaos Knight rushing ahead. TC, he's gonna be caught. The question is, will Fluff sacrifice himself? No, looks like TC won't be caught. Good thing about Naga, 320 base moon speed means she's ridiculously quick, as Naga went for a straight up Vlad's rush. Not something you see every day, and I don't know if that's good in this game. I mean, it'll give you armor.
I guess they want the armor. Like, the lifesteal isn't going to do anything for a long time, so I guess they just really wanted team armor, but at that point, why not just make a mech? Like, no one else is gonna.
Yeah, or, I don't know, get a VIP booster? I guess armor. I mean, only Chaos Knight does physical damage on the side of Virtus.Pro. The rest do pretty much all magical.
I think Quap has a lot of physical damage. She's kind of...
That's true.
She has a lot, actually.
Yeah,
just
it is.
She's, like, always in position collecting people, but... Basically, what happened there was Naga Sleep got baited out at no cost, and now VP can engage on them whenever they want. Uh-oh, Wisp's TP.
Yep, they are going to defend this tier 1 middle, as here comes a bunch of teleports. Alex Mike will be initiated on once again the net. Going to hold Wisp in place, so he is restricting his movement, but TC forced to run away once again. His ultimate still on cooldown. Will he go for the illusion rune? Does manage to dodge the light strike array. I guess it was just a bit misplaced, but actually the flame rate going to push the supports towards TC. Definitely something he did not want. Fluff did steal the Sonic Wave. Nice play by Fluff, as he's going to kill off Tame My Wild as well. Really nice recovery by Liquid when it looked overwhelmingly disadvantageous, but still, they did lose to Naga Siren and Lifesteal, escaping with similar HP. All things considered, that didn't go as badly for Liquid.
That went great for Liquid. Fluff got a Sonic Wave, which killed the Queen of Pain, which was huge. Also, I don't know about NS's decision to go back, like, he had to go back by himself, definitely, but he brought CK with him. And I think he should have left CK. I'm pretty sure CK could have gotten another kill if he stayed, so I don't know. Maybe, maybe not.
Well, Chaos Knight is supporting with 2.7k gold as Bulba once again being denied his jungle. Bulba working towards a 4-staff. It's still going to be about 700 gold away from finishing that. And as the urns, probably going to go straight into a Ghost Scepter next since Nagasiren has no desire to go for that Purge Blade Rush. Already went for the Vlads. And even though Nagasiren can farm quite effectively, it's still going to be a while since Virtus.Pro just have complete control over the map. And Virtus.Pro finally placing some wards, looking for some relocate ganks whenever they can find it, placing them in quite odd positions, but pretty smart since these wards not likely to be counter-warded whatsoever.
No, I mean, the only way you counter that ward is if, like, you die as a direct result because of it, and you're like, well, I guess I have vision. Like, if Wisp CK TP on you when you're standing right there, you know something's there. But aside from that, like, that ward isn't going anywhere, you know? Obviously, you don't get great vision from it, but you see one small important area, and it's going to be there for 6 minutes, so... I don't know, I think it's really important to have vision up when you're playing Wisp CK to just kind of go on people. And look, they have really offensive wards, so... That's how I like to see it, and I'm pretty sure that was a Deso pickup.
Yep, that was a Deso picked up by Korok, the Lifestealer. One thing that Liquid has not really been doing that effectively, I mean, they did do on KSI, is infest Spirit Breaker charges, but there's really no openings for them to do that, so Virtus.Pro actually going to use this opportunity to smoke up, trying to catch Liquid unawares, but Liquid seem to suspect something's up. They do have the Song of Siren to get them out of trouble, but still, you don't want to burn that ridiculously long cooldown ultimate. Well, it's 120 seconds now, so it's a little bit less long. And if Liquid can hold out until they get the 60-second cooldown, I think they're going to be very well in this game. And still, they are very well in this game on the back of their nice play. But Liquid going to be caught out. Both teams smoked up. Fluff will be initiated on. Once again, Illidan will get lassoed as NS not popping relocate. It looks like the sleep has been used to hold Virtus.Pro back. And Liquid, actually, interesting enough, not choosing to teleport out of there. That is going to cost TC his life, as Barretter just going to flame break, trying to cover the retreat. But interesting decision. I would have thought you would just TP it out, but I guess they don't want to waste the gold.
Nah, I don't know. Can't really comment on it either way. But yeah, when you're able to start a fight without using relocate, obviously it means your CK like wasn't farming beforehand, which kind of sucks, but it means that you can pick off the stragglers. And I think they got one straggler with relocate.
They got the Naga.
Yeah, and that's pretty important. So CK's going straight for Heart, which I think is a good decision to skip the drum. He was snowballing hard enough that he didn't need to. And they're gonna have problems. I don't know how else to say it. This CK is gonna be really, really scary. And I mean, Korok only has a Stygian and nothing else. And he has a point in stats, and that's bizarre, and I don't know why he did that. And I mean, their Nagasiren has like a Vlad's, who cares? Barathrum has Tread's Urn, that's something I guess, and Bat has basically Blink Force. Obviously these are all good items to have, but they don't have a mech, they don't have BKBs, they're gonna die.
Yeah, meanwhile, Lich has recently picked up his own mechanism. Arcane Boots constantly filling up the Chaos Knight in terms of mana. Flamebreak gonna push people back, but Barretter can't really spam it as freely as he would, as Chaos Knight and Wisp gonna charge bravely towards Bulba, gonna instantly kill off Bulba, 4-second stun. They kill him in about half a second, so that full duration was obviously not needed. And Team Liquid, there's not really much they can do other than just farm other lanes. And even then, that's questionable. Only Korok feels the security that he can do just that. Nagasiren can't do that until he gets a 60-second cooldown ultimate, but it's going to be a long ways away if you can't get any experience.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see mid lane. TC's going to get gone on. She's trying to use the sleep, and nope. She's just going to get blown up by Lich. It's bouncing around. It's going to hit the Rubik. It's going to bounce the creeps a lot, actually. Wisp goes down. It looks like
double Chain Frost all the way as Fluff once again with a clutch steal. Barretter gonna come in. Will get the lasso kill. Good recovery by Liquid as KSI gonna be in launch shell, is complete out of mana, doesn't have anything to cover his tracks with this slow, but Korok might be, no, he does have that 4-point open wounds now, and the napalm stacks will be coming in. Liquid with a nice recovery. I want to see if they used any buybacks. Nobody bought back, so Liquid fought that ridiculously well.
I guess Fluff MVP. He stole Sonic Wave, he stole Lich Chain Frost. You know, everybody in VP's Skype call is just going, really, man? You didn't hide that? I don't think that's going to happen again this game. Like, normally you make that mistake once a game, and then everybody else will do it, and then you won't do it again. So, really good play from Fluff, recognizing that armor wasn't cast or whatever, and they just go for it, and somehow they take that fight.
Yeah, Liquid, even though I think they're a bit behind in terms of picks, they're just playing super well. But meanwhile, another real gank will be caught on Alex Mike. I don't know why he didn't just, you know, charge when he saw the little circle come in. I guess he just wasn't paying attention, but that was a pretty obvious gank.
Begin with.
That was a pretty obvious gank to escape if you just charged creep, but maybe there weren't any creeps on map. No, Bulba was farming mid lane, and Korok was farming jungle, so he could have charged creeps. So
yeah,
one good play followed up with the questionable play, I suppose.
I still am worried. Like, even if they get to late game, I don't really think they have the damage. Like, they don't have a true late game carry, you know? Obviously, Naga Siren's great once you're like ultra late game, but when you're sort of just in the middle, she doesn't really do a lot because her illusions just kind of suck, and she hasn't got any items to begin with. So I don't know. I don't really think she's gonna get max items this game, and Lifesteal is gonna go back for an armlet. Okay, that's just weird. I don't know. He's got a great reason for doing it. I guess I just can't figure it out. I mean, I don't know.
I guess HP, armor, damage. I mean.
Yeah, but why wouldn't he get it before is my thing. Like, I can't figure it out. Whatever. Anyway.
I guess he just wanted the extra damage and minus armor. Maybe he thought Liquid would be pushing a little bit early on since they got such an early Vlads, but that has clearly not been the case as Virtus.Pro taking the Roshan. They're going to rotate to try to pick off Korok on the bottom lane. Korok is just going to tunnel himself into the trees, but Illidan seems to know something's up. They can't use the orbs to give spirits as Korok will rage up 4 or 6 second rage full duration, but Illidan will keep on pursuing. I'm not too sure why Korok just didn't teleport out of there as Korok infests the creep, is going to get zapped by Lina. Here comes Bulba, is going to get trapped by the sleeping, working gets him. Actually, the Light Strike already stunned him in place for a bit, so actually a nice sleep, but I don't know why Liquid aren't just like teleporting back.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, Chain Frost, I forgot, Chain Frost.
Oh, yeah, you know what, that would be it. But, I think he was also trying to bait a good fight for Liquid. Like, VP was diving the tower into Liquid, and they didn't have vision of that. So if he was able to live for just a little bit longer, I think he would have been okay, but I don't know, I can't really question him for that, because, you know, he needed to make something happen for Liquid, even if it's a, you know, high-risk, high-reward type thing. Or high-risk... Yeah, high-risk, high-reward. There we go.
Meanwhile, Chaos Knight with the finished heart as well as an HSC is going to be impossible for Liquid to bring down. They're going to have to throw every spell on him and some, and do it again. As Virtus.Pro just going to charge in head, confidently going to take down the bottom barracks without too much trouble. A bit surprised they're backing off now as Charge of Darkness will be utilized. It's going to go on to the Queen of Pain, but it's going to get cancelled by Alex Mike. As Virtus.Pro, I'm not too sure why they didn't just push for the base, but they're going to back off for now. And maybe wait for Phantasm. Yeah, they're probably waiting for Phantasm to be back up to get the more assured barracks kill. And for that, can't really blame them.
Yeah, I mean, Phantasm's basically a free barracks when you're ahead. So, why not, right? I mean, he's got Armlet, he's got Heart. His illusions are going to have, what is it? It's 200% damage, or 200% damage taken and full damage dealt?
Yep.
Yeah, so those things are going to be really hard to kill. They'll essentially be heroes. Like, think of it like with them having 1500 HP and dealing, you know, a sizable amount of damage. There will be 4 CKs running around.
Meanwhile, TC smartly farming ahead with his illusion, but that's pretty much all he can do. The surprising thing is that Liquid, in terms of golden experience, are not really that far behind. They've just been getting by on their back of their good play, and the fact that they are farming a lot more than Virtus.Pro in general, you can see that their farm numbers are a bit ahead just because they're farming. Meanwhile, Virtus.Pro are just grouping up as 5 and trying to exert their dominance, but Phantasm will be back up in 10 seconds, and that will spark the Virtus.Pro push. We'll see if Liquid has enough to defend it. We're going to have to look at Fluff to see if he can get another clutch Chain Frost steal, but still, like you said, it's going to be difficult for KSI to make that mistake once again. Going to go for the Aghanims, and Phantasm has been utilized. 5 illusions on the map, but Alex going to get hits before this charge actually hits. Sonic Wave doing a lot of damage to Liquid. Meanwhile, here comes the Lasso, going to drag Tamewild in place. Tamewild will get picked up. Liquid doing a nice job defending as Sonic Wave was stolen once again by Fluff, throwing out a lot of DPS onto the side of Virtus.Pro, but unfortunately it's just not enough as Illidan just tanking the full barrage, still has Aegis online. And this will be the first set of barracks for Liquid. There's nothing that the Rubik nor the Barrett can do about it. But still, a remarkable defense regardless. Wait,
I mean,
they only got 1 kill. I thought they got more, but
true.
Sonic Wave.
It's really... I don't think they could have done anything. Like, no matter how well they play, even if they somehow steal Chain Frost and Sonic Wave, I still think they lose that barracks. Just because CK had an Illusion Rune, and an Aegis, and his ult. he can just put his illusions on the racks and him on it too, and just suicide by himself, and he'll get the racks and they just run away. So I think Liquid was happy that they didn't completely wipe there. Like, that's how they won that team fight. They didn't completely lose. They're not out of the game yet. So I don't know. Just keep split pushing. Try to get like a basher up on Korok, I think. No, AC would definitely be better.
Just need to farm up TC as much as possible. Picked up a Yasha. Looks like he's going to go into the Manta style, but still, that is going to be ages away. And you can see Naga Siren really struggling, 0, 6, and 5, and her DPS outside Riptide is just abysmal, which is why you sort of advocate for her as a support rather than a hard carry. She just needs so many damn items. But, you know, Cassian with the double Dandruin pumping out huge amounts of damage. I just want to see a critical, casual 1.2k crit with the double Dandruin.
Yeah, no big deal. No big deal. I always forget, is CK crit high and frequent or low and...
it's high and infrequent.
High and infrequent. Okay. Oh, yep. There it is. 300% with a 10% chance. It's a pretty solid crit.
Yep, as TC once again gonna pop his illusions. And, I mean, it's just so damn difficult for Liquid. Virtus.Pro just playing this super slow, super cautiously. Hex has been fished up on the Quap. Ghost Scepter has been fished on Wisp for ages. Actually, is sporting with 3k gold. This is probably the richest that NS has ever been in his life. Checking out the net worth, Wisp is ahead of the majority of Liquid. Only Korok and Naga are surpassing him, and Naga not even that much. And meanwhile, ars-art playing Lina, gonna go for the Agnum Scepter. KSI almost has the Agnum Scepter, only about 500 gold, and we'll finish that as he does have the Staff of Wizardry in the courier, and looks like Virtus.Pro, the Aegis is running out relatively soon. They're gonna try to get one last push going. The Aegis is actually gonna run out in about 30 seconds, so this might be a bit of mistiming, as once again, illusions are going to be made by the KSI. Gonna pop the Phantasm, they're gonna go to work on the tier 3 tower, and they're just gonna back up, as Ix might gonna charge in confidently, but he's gonna get immediately gone upon. Fluff once again gets another Sonic Wave off, didn't steal it, so now he has potential to steal Chain Frost, but KSI casts it well out of range of Fluff. He gets the Chain Frost regardless, no, yes he does! Oh my god, Fluff and stuff, but the sleep! Oh, the sleep. The sleep.
Fluff MVP?
No, the sleep. It stopped the Chain Frost bounces.
Yeah, I mean, he still stole it.
That's true.
It's something, right? But, CK, his Phantasm actually died. He hasn't got any left. But, are they gonna retreat? Yeah, they actually will.
Yeah, here comes the chase on to KSI. Napalm stacks will slow him down. Here comes the net as well. Lights are going to hold TC in place. The Riptide doing as much damage as possible, which is all of a whopping not too much. And Virtus.Pro just going to shrug off this damage. Here comes, Reality Rift actually was slightly out of range, as Illidan will turn back to go on to Korok, but it's going to be net in place. Illidan might actually be in a lot of trouble. He's going to get 4 seconds stun off on TC, but the bash is coming in from the Spirit Breaker. They're going to finally kill off Illidan, ending a dominating streak. Meanwhile, NS will fall as well. Liquid holding on by the skin of their teeth, but they're making it count. I don't think they used any buybacks in this defense either. A remarkable defense, and they're going to pick off the Lina as well. Net will hold her in place. Lina just going to try to throw as much damage as possible, but it is all for nothing. And wow, Liquid holding on.
Questionable play from VP. It's like the CK kept trying to turn around with Napalm on him, and oops. I mean, what else can you say? I think Liquid did play really well there, though. I mean, Fluff is getting like massive damage ults each time, so Quap's getting charged top. Hang on.
Yep, charged with the Nyx Infest, but I think Quap does realize something's up. I don't know if Ix might charge in creep range or anything like that. He's going to cancel a charge, so nice recognition. And you can see VP, just because they're always as 5, well, their experience hasn't taken a bit of a hit as I thought. And the experience graph is still very, very much in favor of VP. Lina picks up an Agnum Scepter. Liquid are still very much behind, as Korok gonna go for an S and Y? I'm not too sure about this.
No, it's fine.
But he's not really chasing that much.
I mean, what else does he get at this point? And that actually might be a BKB, to be honest. In fact, I think it is.
BKB Lightstealer. It's been a while. I mean, in the old Dota 1 days, you couldn't use it because it bugged out, but I remember I did try to use it once or twice. It works very oddly. But yeah, there is so much magical damage on the side of VP that he definitely wants to be running around and doing whatever he can, and there's nothing that can really stop him other than the Chain Frost mini stun. Even then, that's not going to do too much, but Lich now has the Agnum Scepter Chain Frost. The damage is absolutely insane.
Yeah, bonkers was the word that came to my mind, but Yeah, Ag Scepter Lich is actually kind of legit, especially when like they're gonna be fighting all the remaining fights on the tier 3, right? So there will always be bounces. Like you can't run away from your tower. If you run away from your tower, it gets taken. So the bounces are guaranteed. I actually was gonna say I really like the Ag Scepter on him and Lena, even though they're not great items like in and of themselves on those two heroes. The stats that they give, like tankiness, is just really helpful. I think so. I kind of like it.
Meanwhile, Spirit Breakers finish the drums going for that Planeswalker Cloak. TC only level 13 despite surviving for the majority of the fight. Naga is just really not doing too much. Going to go for the Diffusal Blade to try to get that purge as well as defusing the Ghost Scepter, but Virtus.Pro looks like they're just going to hold on until the next Roshan responds, and there's really not too much Liquid can do to contest this whatsoever. And actually it's going to be Heaven's... No, it's going to be Assange for Korok. So it might be Heaven's Albert, might be his
Probably
SNY.
Yeah. I guess it makes sense. SNY's like a really good item on Nyx, but I do feel like an AC would just be a little bit better, just for the armor against the CK. But
it is kind of expensive.
That is true. Maybe he felt like, you know what it is? He probably felt like he needed something up like right now. So there you go.
Yeah, Roshan will once again be attempted by Virtus.Pro. Illidan pumping out the crits. Just checking out his items. He's finished his own AC, and he is just rolling in the gold. I've never really seen a rich Chaos Knight, or a Chaos Knight this rich, 33 minutes in the game, as here comes the Reality Rift attempted by an illusion. The sleep has already been baited out by TC. 120-second cooldown. TC gonna be immediately focused on. Here comes the Chain Frost, gonna bounce in. We're looking at you, Fluff. Can't get in position. Does get the blink off. Does he manage to steal anything? He gets zapped for his trouble, so it doesn't even amount to anything. And Liquid just gonna get completely rolled in this engagement. Virtus.Pro just gonna turn back for Roshan and immediately look for the next fight because their ultimates don't really have a long cooldown. They can just take fights whenever.
Yeah, I don't know about Liquid's decision to take that fight. It's so hard to take a fight in the pit when you're behind like that. So, I guess I felt like, you know what, it actually was a good fight because they probably felt that if they get Aegis, they just lose anyway. So, you even though it's a bad fight to take, you have to take it. And I think that's actually the mark of a pretty experienced team when you see them making plays that are they know they have to make, like they'll commit to a fight that they'll probably lose just because they're saying we have to win this fight or we'll lose anyway. So I actually like that attitude.
Yep, meanwhile Virtus.Pro gonna finish out the melee barracks. One thing I did want to point about Fluff's build is even though he played really well, stole many ultimates, interesting enough one for Telekinesis Max rather than Nullfield. I know it's sort of a weird point to talk about as charging in. IX Mike gonna do once again, but it's gonna be held in place by the net. Here comes Bulba. He's gonna get recalled in or reality rifted in before he can even get the last off. Croc trying to go to work, but Illidan is just so damn tanky. Illidan gonna use up his Aegis as Croc did have enough damage to bring him down. Meanwhile, Timon just gonna pop a Ghost Scepter, and the supports, KSI actually dishing out a respectable amount of DPS, and Liquid, I don't know if they have enough gas left in the tank, as they are gonna lose their second set of barracks, and Virtus.Pro probably gonna switch their attention to the last barracks, since their ultimates will be up. The Chain Frost is going to be up, and Laguna Blade will be up in about 30 seconds, and Illidan going to once again charge in, going to focus on TC. Chaos Bolt stolen by Fluff, going to hold Illidan in place for now. The defense sleep has been forced, but still, this is not going to delay the ending push.
You know, you mentioned you never see CKs this farmed, and usually it's just because, oh, Nyx is actually going to go on him.
Yep, he is going to go on him indeed, but just not enough damage outside the Leicester. TC just getting slaughtered. Relentlessly, Chain Frost once again being popped. IX Mike, the bounce is bouncing like crazy. It's going to actually bounce back on the Fluff. Alright, well, Lich Chain Frost, a lot more legit than I previously counted. 10 bounces, really helping him out. As GG's well played is called, Virtus.Pro just never really felt like they were in a disadvantageous situation, even though Liquid played those fights remarkably well.
I think Liquid played better than VP. I think VP just had better picks, to be honest. I don't know. Liquid's felt very experimental, and I like experimental drafts, but when you're experimenting with like 2 picks, sometimes it's a little too much, I think. And yeah, I wanted to say, you never really see a CK this farmed, because normally when he gets heart, he just kind of wins. So it's kind of nice to see a CK with a lot of items.
Well, that's going to be it for game number 1. We'll be back with game number 2 relatively soon. VP continuing on their hot streak. We'll see if Liquid can turn around some of their momentum. They really need to do that, as it's going to be a tough couple months before their TI3, so they definitely need to turn on momentum. But we will try to see if Liquid can recover in game 2, so we'll all see you next time. Peace.